Welcome everybody to the PeaceRise Innovation Challenge Awards ceremony. My name is Jeremy Fritzhand and I'm joined by Brandon Malofsky. We are co-organizers of the event and we're thrilled to be your hosts today. We're here to celebrate innovation and the incredible efforts of all our participants. So before we get started, we want to reflect on our amazing opening ceremony held on May 3rd. A special thanks to our partners, the University of Cincinnati's 1819 Innovation Hub, for hosting the opening ceremonies. Their facilities, resources, and expertise have been instrumental in providing a conducive environment for innovation. The event has brought together visionaries from across the globe, united by a common goal of fostering peace through innovation. Today, we honor creativity, dedication, and hard work that each participant has poured into this challenge. It's been a testament to what we can achieve when we collaborate and share our visions for a better world. If you'd like to see more about the opening ceremony, you can visit the PeaceRise YouTube channel to view the official video from that day. So we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our sponsors of the inaugural challenge who made this event possible. The support from them has been invaluable. We have Pieces for Developers, Ghost Agency, Disco, Applied Intelligence Agency, the Iron Hook Group, Flywheel Social Enterprise Hub, Bots Crew, and Big Kitty Labs. If you'd like to learn more about our sponsors, you can visit PeaceRise.global and click the link to the sponsors. So we'd like to remind our attendees of the concept note that drives PeaceRise forward. In our interconnected world, PeaceRise is a testament to the power of unity and the transformative magic of innovation. As organizers, our journey has taught us that every individual, every idea, has the potential to spark a revolution of peace. Our philosophy is that we believe in a world where peace is an aspiration and a daily practice, empowered by our global community's collective creativity and empathy. Our commitment is driven by the spirit of collaboration. We commit to fostering an environment where every peace partner is heard, valued, and empowered. Our platform is a beacon of inclusivity, integrity, and innovation, where the sanctity of intellectual property and the dignity of every contributor are paramount. Our mission is to help people develop peaceful initiatives through technology. And our vision is to become the go-to repository of tools that facilitate peaceful initiatives around the world. Our purpose is to foster a global community that collaborates to solve critical challenges and promotes peace through innovation and technology. Our invitation to you, students, educators, technologists, designers, and dreamers, to join this movement. Bring your passion, your insights, and your dreams. Together, let's build a network of peace that spans the globe, where every contribution leaves an indelible mark on the tapestry of human progress. And these guiding principles have been the backbone of our efforts and will continue to inspire us as we move forward.
As we move forward, building into the event, looking into our winners of the awards and the future of what it is at PeaceRise, we wanted to retouch on the importance, as well as we're building it, of the open source policy that is at our core and our roots. Because we want to ensure that for anyone, whether the amazing ideas here that we're showcasing today, to those that are being worked on actively on the platform, and those who may join in the future, that this is information and knowledge and tools that we're building, not only from speakers we have, from other individuals, that people can access
I'm in a pitch competition.
that people can access and to learn from, and to help build their own ideas. And that's really going to maintain a core from us from here and into the future. And so for anyone who's joining us who hasn't become a part of, who hasn't joined our platform, for those who you might think might be interested in sharing their own ideas or finding new opportunities and information to help them build their own potential new solutions in whatever form it may be, we recommend to become a partner, join the platform. Find ways to better brand yourself and find other people to help build your own ideas. There are people we have from all across the globe, over 240 members now, over 30 countries, and countless hours of tools that you can use to help build your own visions. We hop to the next one.
So we received 26 ideas from 7 countries, and what we categorize as around 5 different areas. So those 5 themes: education, healthcare, environmental sustainability, economic development, and community building. We see these as kind of a backbone for what we're building. And over the next few weeks, you're going to get to see all of these submissions. We also see that the community impact has topics from youth empowerment, social innovation, civic engagement, health and wellness, and education and technology.
So, what does that certificate look like for our participants, for those who have gone through it? Every single one is going to be gaining a certificate of recognition for their efforts, for their knowledge, and the experience that they've gained going through this, going through our process. We encourage everyone, winners and otherwise, to proudly display it, share your achievement. The certificate's not just a piece of paper, it represents your hard work, creativity, and dedication that you can brand and show off anywhere into the future. And we also want to encourage you to use this as a powerful tool to not only showcase your efforts, but also help build your experiences or finding new networks, new opportunities that feel free to share it on social, feel free to blast it, and be proud of the work and the amazing efforts you've all put in to get here today. And the last thing we want to touch on as we're getting closer to diving into the awards and it itself is our evaluation process throughout the challenge. We really looked through what was the clarity and the relevance to what an idea may be. Is it clearly understood? How is it relevant to what's currently happening in the world or to the ideas behind it of what someone's working on? To the innovation and the creativity behind a given idea. The potential of impact, is it whether it's on a small scale to a large scale, how does it innately and really intimately involve society or help improving peace on scale? What's the feasibility and implementation, right? How feasible is it? Is it an idea that we see can really happen? And how is it getting implemented? Or how do we see potentially visualize it happening? And then lastly, that presentation, what is that bit beside it? How clearly is it orchestrated, the charisma behind it to make something that's really inviting, interesting, and promotive for others to want to get involved? As we look at things moving forward, what are our future plans look like as we're about to get into the awards? Is this is just the beginning. This is a wonderful start off as we've built this out to create brand new fantastic ideas. We're building and learning from this, from new feedback, information to improve and grow the platform, grow the ideas and the vision. And over time, looking at even how do we incorporate more established businesses across the environment to get more tools, information, and supportive mechanisms out there for people to build their ideas and their visions.
So I know we've got some new members that have joined us here on the call. So before going any farther, I'd like to get one more screenshot of all of your beautiful faces this morning or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. So if you don't mind, please turn your camera back on. We're going to get one more screenshot here. If you feel comfortable, turn your camera on. I'll give the countdown so you can all have a nice smile on your face.
Okay.
All right, so the countdown, everybody smile. And we're hold that for just a couple moments here. See a couple more people turning on their cameras. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, smile. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So here we go. Introducing the awards. The moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to celebrate the top 7 submissions today. So first place will be receiving $2,000. Second place, $1,750. Third place, $1,250. And the 4th through 7th place, which we consider honorable mentions, will each receive $250. Winners will receive an email with forms to claim their prizes after today's ceremony. We will be announcing the top 7, and we'll all be watching the top 3 submissions together on the call today. Over the next few weeks, we'll be publishing the submissions to our platform to give you recognition for all your hard work. And so, without further ado, announcing the honorable mentions in no particular order, we have Bharat Sukiani in Power Zones, Priyanka Srivastava, Mantraverse, Shaman Payne and Vani Mwamba, Path of Peace, and Ashish Moore, PR. Amazing job, great work, great submissions, and we're excited to share what you all worked on in the coming weeks. So moving on now to 3rd place. We're excited to announce that the team of The One Thing, John Davis IV, Stephen Towler, Markia Thomas, and Danica Farmer have placed 3rd in the inaugural PeaceRise Innovation Challenge. Congratulations to your team. We're now going to watch their video.
Adolescents aged 14 to 24 are some of the highest risk for mental illness. Anxiety, depression, and suicide are steadily on the rise, affecting our city, our country, and the world. After speaking with teens and parents, it became clear the home is a foundation for overall health and well-being. But with the ever-growing access to social media, the pressure to succeed and the pressure to have life completely figured out before getting a true taste of the real world has resulted in the mental and emotional development of teens becoming increasingly difficult. So after speaking with them, we set out to migrate the impact of mental health and well-being, enabling them to have an inner peace and emotional resilience. We introduce to you The One Thing, an AI-powered companion that provides adolescents with positive affirmations and guidance in their day-to-day lives. It deters social media usage, builds relationship skills while providing a communication outlet. From students to everyday users and therapists to counselors, all can leverage The One Thing's capabilities. Our goal is to help individuals manage stress through guidance, motivation, and mindfulness, as well as face the pressures of life and promote the relaxation and the overall time management of these individuals. For therapists and counselors, we offer an integratable assistant for their practice that allows them to stay in tune with their clients when they're away. We plan to tackle this initiative in 4 phases. Phase 1, build the foundation. Phase 2, clarity and launch. Phase 3, build the community and partnerships. Phase 4, continuous improvement. The One Thing is not without its share of challenges, but we're aware of these, and we have plans for mitigating it in terms of performance and security issues, data breaches and ethical concerns, user resistance, and general compliance. Users will engage with The One Thing through monthly subscriptions and pay per solution. As we strive to be as eco-friendly as possible, we will use solutions and research algorithms that are the least computationally expensive for our models while maintaining efficiency, actively lowering our carbon footprint. We will ensure that The One Thing is an anonymous, harmless, lightweight app that is ultra portable. We also aim to develop partnerships with high schools and universities offering students reduced pricing. Moving forward, we need more insights and research for adolescents aged 14 and 24. We have already gone ahead and created a GPT as a proof of concept, but our goal is to have a full cross-platform app that you can access on your phone, on tablet, and online. Now, addressing the mental health needs is paramount to peace in the world we live in today as well as in the future. Thank you.
Congratulations to Team The One Thing. Great work. So next, we are now going to announce the second place winner. We have Weave 3 by Scott Frankham. Congratulations on being the second place winner at the inaugural PeaceRise Innovation Challenge. Let's watch the pitch.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Scott Frankham, and I want to talk to you about an idea 5 years in the making. It holds the promise of real systemic change to some of the world's most intractable challenges. So let's talk about the stakes. In my view, many of the world's existential challenges are welded together. 30 years ago, we thought the internet was a utopian fix for education and poverty, but because of the creative choices we all made, surrendering control in return for simplicity, the internet has made many things worse. Problems like real poverty, the digital divide, surveillance capitalism, global north-south divide, climate remediation, and challenges to democracy. Each seems to magnify the worst aspects of other challenges. We are at a hinge moment. The Weave 3 project is a pilot that could prove concept for systemic change that improves some of the world's hardest challenges. If you believe, as I do, that intelligence and talent have a normal distribution, but opportunity does not, the new internet could equalize the playing field between the global north and global south. The Web3 blockchain internet has powerful new capabilities that will be owned by no one and accessible to everyone with an internet connection. For example, it can support new climate strategies like economic growth without consumption. It can measure to manage decarbonization of the $100 trillion global economy. Let's talk people, poverty, and agency. The world has about 8 billion people, but only 15% of us have middle-class lives. That means 85% don't. McKinsey reports that 4.7 billion people are above the poverty line, but under the line of empowerment, which means they don't have enough money to rise. There are about 2 billion smallholders who create the world's most beautiful and delicious things. I include hand weavers and craft makers in this group because they're usually farmers too. Global food security depends on smallholders. They carry culture, and they support families of 4 to 6 on $60 to $140 per month. We seem to care so little about them, I can't even find much research, which means I don't have enough information to think through how the world would change if we activated those 2 billion souls. But maybe we could help them avoid joining the expected 1 billion climate migrants. Maybe we could pay them to farm regeneratively and with more biodiversity. Maybe we could help them stay where they are rather than crowding into megacities. Maybe we could help them keep their culture. Let's go back and look at what happened over the last 25 years because of changes in bargaining power. Here, control equals the x-axis, power equals y, and money is represented by size. In 1998, manufacturing and physical retail were the world's most valuable companies. Makers were at the bottom. Google launches. In 2024, Web2 is a monarchy of 5 companies. This year, big tech has half of US stock exchange value. Retail, magazines, newspapers, and privacy have collapsed. Makers are at the bottom. But in 2030, a new generation of blockchain technology flips power, control, and money. Big tech still matters, but technical decentralization, protocol networks, and person-to-person interactions claw back equities. Personal privacy, control, and other things we lost could return. Change market forces, let makers rise. The challenges so far are people, fairness, and opportunity, technology centralization, and the third challenge is new legislation on climate data reporting, and it has real urgency because of what it can do to poor people in trade. The new data reporting laws are mostly for investor transparency. The European Union, USA, California, and Japan require reporting of sustainability and trade data, although the level of detail varies. Together, these equal about 45% of global GDP trade. It's a mix of Scope 1 and 2 and Scope 1, 2, and 3 data, and I think it's inevitable that most countries will have to report sustainability data soon. The most robust data reporting regulations do much more. The European Union's Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation, the ESPR, requires something new called digital product passports. Product passports manage the environmental impact throughout a whole product life cycle. Digital product passports trace product supply chains on these dimensions: production and supply chain, carbon footprint, environmental impact, climate transition, decarbonization support, investor verification, and consumer transparency. Product information, instructions, and manuals, which is important to circularity, materials and components, circularity and end-of-life handling, marketing claims, cultural information. GS1, you'll know from barcoding because they'll be the ones who issue the product passports. Digital product passports apply to everything except pharma, animal feed, and food. About 2 weeks ago, the EU passed a corporate sustainability due diligence regulation that includes human rights due diligence. Product passports would seem to be the only way to verify human rights regulations too. In essence, digital product passports build a digital wall that prevent goods from coming in that don't reflect EU values. They're powerful tools that collect, share, and support consumer transparency. They incentivize companies to design more sustainable products. They enable better tracking, tracing, and management of emissions and environmental impacts across value chains, and they're an important step to making informed choices about the products we use and consume. The ESPR enacted in March of this year. The largest EU companies will have to report 2024 data in 2025. Digital product passports are finalizing now, and in 2026, the largest companies will have to trace their suppliers' production too. India, which exports 36% of its handmaids to the EU, could lose those sales if we don't create a way for farmers and makers to trace their products from seed to store. Makers need a path to digital product passport readiness. Weave3 is a pilot project that uses new blockchain-like technology to test the viability of real-time, bottom-up blockchain tracing, with makers in the global south all the way from seed to store. Designing an emergent, culturally appropriate UI/UX that's usable by non-technical, rural people could be a resilient way to meet the letter and spirit of digital product passports and other data reporting regulations. Bottom-up reporting supports decarbonization and the imperatives of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. It establishes real-time reporting from the start. On-chain services and business tools will raise maker incomes and improve their quality of life while increasing the bargaining power of makers and farmers. Here's a series of composable MVP applet modules that work in concert. In other words, together the applets create an initial suite of services that can be augmented with additional fields and new capabilities. Over time, the applets will be able to create digital product passport readiness. And these are some of the fields I'm wireframing now. So let's talk blockchains and a directional vision of what the next 10 years could look like. The conversation here is about platforms versus protocols. Protocols are an open source way to manage networks. Protocol networks reshuffle power, control, and money away from the center and in favor of creators. The new internet differs from the current internet because of network design. Protocols are open, platforms are closed. Email is a protocol, Instagram's a platform. Protocols are open source rules of the road. Platforms are centralized services that control everything. And blockchains are governed by transparent protocols. That means you can see how the technology works before you agree to something. And then there's the corporate internet layer in between you and protocols. That's how big tech platforms disadvantage anything that isn't them. So let's pivot back to what blockchains do and how they can help. Functionally, blockchains are a human organization system and an accounting structure that's secure, transparent, auditable, and time-stamped. Blockchain technology is owned by no one and accessible to everyone. Blockchain differs from other types of code because it's decentralized and can make unbreakable promises, which will matter a lot to smallholders and other people with low power. Promises mean that if you make an agreement on the blockchain, it can't be changed without you knowing. Because the changes are visible, you'll be able to see anything that's corrupt or a lie. And decentralization means computation happens on unused laptop space and the supercomputers in our pockets, our phones, rather than on data centers. So the new internet is much cheaper to run. Blockchains are democratic. Very soon we'll vote on community rules for how we engage with the new internet. And if you don't like those rules, you can fork away and go someplace that you like better. Forking means you own your own audiences and creative output, and you can take them wherever you get the best deal. Blockchain's ability to make promises and the automations those commitments and power are how we'll act on super complex problems like decarbonization. Web3 is powerful enough to be the builders, police, accountants, librarians, and negotiators of climate remediation, circularity, and trade policy. I want to share some credible experiences behind this idea and why I believe in it so much. I live and work nomadically and spend a lot of time in India. In 2019, I noticed that a meter of handwoven indigo khadi had the same too low price everywhere. Everywhere in India, a meter of handwoven indigo khadi is about $1 per foot. That means it has a flat pricing curve, which tells us that the market thinks these products are commodities like copper or wheat or gold or oil. Commodity markets compete mostly on price. But artisan handwovens are some of the most highly differentiated products in the whole world. They have different cotton, different indigo, different cultural communities, different making skills. And that means if I'm a maker, the price I can sell it for is below my production cost sometimes. Or it also means that if I want to make something better that takes more time or additional inputs, it becomes a form of self-harm because I can't get money for quality. A sector analysis confirmed that commodity pricing broke crafts on 4 out of 5 economic dimensions of functioning markets. If the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to see every problem as a nail. In other words, Abraham Maslow, applied to this, says that that if the only thing that's visible to me as a buyer is price, and there's no other information, then that's the only place I have to press. And differentiation could change that. So I formulated a differentiation strategy that tries to shift the pricing curve so there's a relationship between price and quality. In 2020, I founded the Jaipur Crafts Festival with the goal of supporting crafts differentiation at scale. And there are 2 ways of creating differentiation. Makers can embrace technocratic marketing skills. The first edition of the Jaipur Crafts Festival was with Tata Trust, and that's exactly what they do. They impart marketing skills skills to sell on Instagram, and that's how they empower makers. But the more scalable way to create visible differentiation is with blockchains. Makers could answer simple questions or make simple statements like, I'm from this cultural community. I planted this type of cotton seed on this date. I irrigated the plants with 40 buckets of water every week, and I harvested this many kilos of raw cotton. My theory of change is that Web3 blockchains could help makers create differentiation at scale. The value proposition of direct benefits. Let's restate the big idea. If intelligence has a normal distribution, but opportunity does not, blockchain could even the playing field between makers in the global south and customers in the global north. So how's that possible? For one, protocols make technology cheaper. And if I don't like the deal I'm getting currently, I can move and take what I own. Blockchains could implement a differentiation strategy at scale, and that shifts the basis of competition from price to quality. That repairs the sector function, and functioning markets should be better for everyone. Next, peer-to-peer transactions let makers capture extra sales and margin. Reliable promises create agency and stability. And this Porter analysis shows how blockchain shifts bargaining power to push power, control, and money away from the center to the edges of the network. Porter says when rivalry goes up, power disperses. The total addressable market is anyone who creates, buys, or uses products. Let's whittle 8 billion total population down to the 6.1 billion people over the age of 15. Market value could be as large as the $100 trillion of global trade. But the first customer is Khmer Crafts in Kutch, Maharashtra. I'll work on the UI, UX, and tracing for Kala Cotton. Next, there are about 50 NGOs with which I have a relationship from my work on the Jaipur Crafts Festival. Longer term, there are about 200 million weavers in India, and there are millions more people in making countries like Morocco, Mexico, Turkey, Nigeria, and beyond. Open source software means there'll be competitors soon, but that may not be a bad thing. I say that because I think makers need to be able to bargain collectively and avoid waiting for top-down Ethereum-style blockchains, so moving fast helps. This is a work-in-progress map of what it would take to build a Web3 cluster. I find it helps to identify the institutions you need to build a functioning business, especially one that relies on frontier technologies. And this is the spring-summer roadmap. It's a combination of test studies, digging deeper, finding partners and money, and advocacy for the idea. Holochain is still in early days for both HREA and the neighborhood social platform. Mature services are not available on either yet, and both are in the active building stages. I'll probably begin on neighborhoods in part because I'm a candidate to be one of their pilot projects, and it's an easy way to attach wallets to tracing. Let's talk challenges and risks. Holochain's new. This would be one of the first full projects written on Holochain, HREA, or neighborhoods. Next, Indian makers have digital divide challenges around language, literacy, and gender. Some husbands don't want their wives to have phones. Also, Indian crafts are perhaps the world's most fragmented making sector. Next, the final product needs to be interoperable with other blockchains. And not many developers currently write blockchain-style Rust code. And finally, a vampire attack could steal the project by paying customers to move over. So it's not without challenges and risks. Sustainability and growth are challenging. The license to use the underlying holochain technology forbids extractive capitalism in general and unauthorized data use specifically. Ethereum-style blockchain is already in use for high-value products in rich countries, mostly for marketing purposes like authenticating luxury goods. Transaction costs vary between a few dollars and $60 per entry. So it's expensive. And that means it's so expensive that I believe it's unethical in the global south. Holochain answers that with zero transaction costs. But if I see my key customer as the world's poorest people, where will the money come from? Smallholders will create the most robust data, and that data has commercial and legislative value in countries with data legislation. So there's money to be made, but probably not until the project starts to scale. A counterpoint to that is open source software, especially for global causes like climate and livelihood. NGOs are already in place in many countries to help manage and teach farmers and makers so they could take on part of the load. Once the software is robust enough to serve most customers, the challenge turns to keeping key customers happy and glued to my platform with new services and activations. The product will always have to be free to makers and a freemium model for brands, retailers, and reporting customers. The project has the advantage of being legislated, which means companies will have to do it or face fines and other consequences. These are the team needs after proof of concept. I'll close with data laws and digital product passports are happening. The Web3 blockchain internet is happening. So the real choice is how to help the global south self-determine. The prosperous 15% can no longer justify asking the bottom 85% to bear the weight of our climate mistakes. People need agency and to document land rights. They need to be able to count on something, and blockchains can help do that. I believe we're at the beginning of measuring to manage the $100 trillion global economy. Data laws and Web3 are megatrends that will be with us for a very long time. The difference is this time we all get to decide what kind of internet we have. Climate is an existential challenge. Part of the reason the world hasn't moved faster is the problem's complexity. And blockchains can manage complexity, which means we can measure to manage and create the conditions for real progress. Holochain has zero transaction costs, and it's built for the developing world. I'm one person, but the Weave3 project can grow as fast or as slow as resources allow. I've invested the time and love into what I believe is a cohesive, achievable vision. Please follow us at Jaipur Crafts Festival, and let's get started.
Congratulations again to Weave3 and Scott Frankham. And now announcing the first place winner. We're so excited to announce Litterless, Team Litterless, Ben Booker and Atarv Shetty. Congratulations, you are the winner of the inaugural PeaceRise Innovation Challenge. We're so excited. We'll be publishing these pitches again in the coming weeks. Let's now watch Litterless motivating communities to eliminate litter.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. We are Team Litterless, and we're excited to be presenting on our idea to motivate communities to eliminate litter. My name is Ben Booker. I am the co-founder and CEO.
And I'm Atarv Shetty. I'm the co-founder and CTO.
So at Litterless, we empower citizenship by inspiring communities to pick up litter. So why is litter an issue? Well, public littering really poses a significant threat to environmental integrity, public health, and communities because discarded waste contaminates our ecosystems, it harms wildlife, and it makes our cities and neighborhoods uninviting. So That's great, and we're all aware of that, but what does that problem look like quantified? So in the United States, there's over 50 billion pieces of litter each year. What that means is that there's 152 pieces of litter for every US citizen. Annually, that litter is costing US governments, businesses, and institutions $11.5 billion to manage, yet it's still a problem. Locally, Cincinnati spends on average of $3 million picking up litter each year. But this problem isn't specific just to Cincinnati. 90% of Americans report feeling litter is a problem in their communities. And in order for that to relate to everyone, what that means is that there's 2,000 pieces of litter along every single mile of roadway on average in the United States. So, our proposed solution is to create a digital marketplace that rewards users for picking up trash and then distributes the value generated by picking it up back to the users and the ecosystem partners on the platform. So how does this solution really work? Well, users record litter pickups through a gamified interface on our app, and then users are rewarded with tokens based on what they picked up. These tokens can then be redeemed on app through our digital marketplace with ecosystem partners. And then the data and value generated throughout this process in the collection, tokenization, and eventual redemption of these tokens can then be analyzed and distributed to all of the stakeholders so that we can have more operational efficiency. Eventually, users are really going to expand communities around these ecosystem partners through the activations and engagements that our platform enables. Now, Atar is going to talk a little bit into the details of what the platform looks like.
So as you can see, this is like the homepage of the Littlest app, and there are like community events, recycling challenges, photo missions. We'll get to that in a bit. But as you can see, like there's Eden Park Eco Sweep. That's the event name, and the location is Eden Park, Cincinnati. It offers users 5 tokens for doing the challenge, and it's available till June 10th. Then the recycling challenges, on the other hand, are like weekly events. And so, like for example, in this case, it's plastic patrol, collect and recycle plastic items, 8 tokens by the end of July 2nd. And then photo missions. Photo missions, basically you take a picture of before and after the litter that you've collected, and then put a hashtag Littlest and see. It's in Clifton Avenue right now, and it awards you 6 tokens, and it's ongoing. So that's a thing. And if you go to the next slide, as you can see, users have profiles where it shows them the balance, the number of tokens they have, and their past activity to reflect back, or like to just see what activities they have participated in. Marketplace is the place where they redeem the tokens in the form of coupons from ecosystem partners. As you can see, there's you can get a $5 coupon for a clean circle by trading in your 25 tokens that you have actually earned, and so on. And then there's just like a notification to notify the users, hey, your tokens have been, you have won those tokens for certain challenges, and there's also, you can also redeem those tokens. And then just a search feature for the user, so they can navigate through the app for various tasks, or like whatever the user needs. Moving on to the next slide. Partner activities, as I mentioned before, or you saw in the application, you saw community cleanup events, recycling challenges, and photo missions. So these are basically like local cleanup events in parks, beaches, and urban areas where volunteers can collect litter. These events can be sponsored by local businesses or schools to increase participation. Then recycling challenges are basically challenges to challenge participants to collect specific types of recyclable material within a certain period, within a set period. This can help educate the community about recycling and reducing waste. Photo missions, encouraging users to take photos of littered areas before and after cleaning them up. This visual proof of their efforts can be shared on social media to inspire others and spread awareness. School and youth programs partner with schools to engage students in litter-related activities such as poster making contests, educational scavenger hunts, or school ground cleanups. Seasonal campaigns run special cleanup drives during times when litter tends to increase, such as after major public holidays, sporting events, or in the fall when parks are full of leaves and debris. Corporate responsibility days facilitate events where companies can sign up as a team to take part in cleanup activities, which can count towards their corporate social responsibility goals. Artistic upcycling projects create challenges that involve using collected litter to make art of useful items. This not only cleans up the environment but also promotes creativity and the idea of reusing materials. So here's like a roadmap of how the token redemption works. Users first earn tokens, as you saw before, like doing those partner activities. Our application then tracks those tokens and rewards them accordingly. After reviewing them, then the user can explore the awards in the marketplace section where they can choose from various different coupon codes from selected ecosystem partners. Then, for redeeming the coupons upon confirmation, tokens are deducted from the user's account and the coupon is digitally issued to them, either in the form of a code or a scannable QR code. And finally, when it comes to using those coupon codes, like any other coupon codes can be redeemed either digitally or at QR codes at participating businesses, either in person or online, depending on the nature of the coupon. Moving on, uh, moving on, you're not moving on.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Target audience. Our target audience, as we saw through our research, is Gen Z and millennials, ages from 18 to 41. The reason being they're technologically adapt and active on social media, highly interested in sustainability and active in environmental initiatives, value community action, and social impact. We found that 32% of Gen Z and 28% of millennials engage in climate actions like donating or volunteering, surpassing older groups. We also found out that 69% of Gen Z and 59% of millennials feel anxious about climate change impacts when encountering related content online. Now, moving on to our ecosystem partners, few that we would like to target or what we are targeting is governments aiming to reduce waste management costs and improve local environment health, local businesses, large corporations, and environmental organizations invested in CSR, having a clean community, and promoting products and services. Schools and universities interested in environmental research and student engagement, agencies and NGOs working to inform slash optimize public waste systems and increase citizenship. Handing over to Ben.
Yeah, so as we look at the community impact and value proposition for both our users and our ecosystem partners, there's kind of four categories of benefits that we've identified. First is going to be the environmental impact. We're going to see a reduction in litter through significant decreases in local litter levels, which is really going to contribute to cleaner parks, streets, and waterways. And what this means is that there's going to be safer habitats for local wildlife by reducing that pollution and the hazardous waste that they're exposed to. And then we see economic impacts through cost savings, which comes in the form of reduced expenses for municipal waste management and private property management through more efficient and more cost-effective public participation. And then this is also going to have an impact on the local economy. This is going to enhance local tourism and business opportunities because the cities are going to have an improved cleanliness and environmental reputation. And then our social impact, we see an increase in community engagement through civic engagement, through this empowered citizenship, these community activations, as well as educational programming. And then there's better public health outcomes, again, by reducing pollutants and promoting active lifestyles in the environment. And then we see an educational impact through awareness and learning. Educational initiatives in schools and community centers are really going to be able to focus on environmental stewardship and sustainability through our platform. And then all of the partners can use this data to collaborate amongst organizations so that they can have better litter and public waste data that's going to optimize research and program development for all. So how do we turn this these benefits and value propositions into revenue streams. Starting with our governments, we see the value coming in the form of reduced costs for public waste management, and then the real-time data that can be used to inform their waste management systems. We see opportunities for revenue through the fees of this waste data, a discounted pro rata value of that cost reduction that we're helping them achieve, and then there's grant funding available through governments. When we look at promoting businesses, we see value created in, again, less resources being spent on property management, the promotion on our token marketplace that's going to drive sales for these businesses. And then we see value in ESG compliance and sustainability goal progress. And then again, we can see revenue opportunities in the fees previously mentioned, additional advertising subscriptions to actually be on our platform. And then, as Atar was talking about, we can actually have organizations sponsor those user challenges and activations. And then we get to advise academic institutions where we create value, again, through the reduced cost of property management, the value created in community engagement programming, and then public health data for academic analysis. We continue to see revenue opportunities in waste data, pro rata cost reductions, and then actual fees for integration into our program management for community engagement. And then finally, we support our community partners through value streams in increased efficiency of waste management programs, and then better informed data collection. That's a big part of our community partners' operations. And again, we continue to see revenue opportunities in waste data, program management and integration, and grant opportunities.
Moving on to implementation strategy, planning and development. For phase 1, we plan on building a software with the help of our sponsor, Beckedy Labs. Then for data infrastructure, we plan on leveraging and licensing various data sources like Literati for data analytics and data analytics capabilities to manage and analyze data efficiently. Secondly, for phase 2, we plan on partnering up and building up those partnerships, corporate partnerships such as getting businesses commitments for funding and promotion, municipal agreements, work with cities for waste management integration, academic and NGO partnerships, partner up with universities and NGOs for research and outreach, pilot program launch. For phase 3, we want to start a pilot city as Cincinnati. For community engagement, roll out marketing and engagement strategies to maximize participant enrollment. For initial data collection, we'll begin collecting and analyzing data to adjust strategies and operations. For phase 4, evaluating and scaling, performance and evaluation, analyze data on user participation, data reduction, and community impact. Then feedback integration, implementing changes based on user feedback and partner feedback. And then plan on scaling, plan for geographical expansion, increase user base, and additional marketplace partners. And obviously, for phase 5, we do plan on improvement and iteration, continuously refine and enhance the platform based on ongoing user feedback, technological advancements, and partnership dynamics. And so there will be challenges and risks when we go in this path, for competition from existing environmental initiatives and community programs. There's also health risks. Volunteers may be exposed to health risks during cleanup events, particularly in polluted or hazardous areas. Also, since there's a lot of partnerships involved in this, coordinating and maintaining partnerships with diverse stakeholders can be challenging due to various objectives and expectations. There is also expected to be long lead times. Developing and deploying the technology platform, especially in multiple locations, may take longer than anticipated. Integration management, integrating the Littlest platform with existing municipal and corporate systems would be technical and bureaucratical complex. Waste management and segmentation, effectively categorizing and managing different types of collected waste can be logistically complex. Local infrastructure constraints, limited local infrastructure may hinder the effectiveness of cleanup efforts in certain areas. This could be a disproportionate issue in communities with less resources or developing economies. And then finally, data analytics. Extracting and communicating valuable data insights varies among partners interested in different variables and relationships. Handing out to Ben again.
Yeah, so then when we look at the sustainability and growth of the platform, first we look at the pilot program stabilization and optimization. One of the biggest things to consider is the initial user acquisition and then the retention of these users. This really begins with a strategic approach where we leverage the targeted marketing campaigns and partnerships to attract that initial user base. And then diving deeper into the retention, a big part of any marketplace is having trust and security. So we need to establish, again, that trust and credibility with users by prioritizing security, transparency, and integrity across all aspects of the marketplace. And then we really need to invest in robust and scalable technology infrastructure that's going to support the growth and future stability of the platform. Next, we want to focus on the expansion of ecosystem partners. This is important with a diverse marketplace because variety in consumer partners really provides users with more opportunities to redeem tokens, which increases the overall user benefits. Part of that user benefit is enhanced convenience. This diverse marketplace really eliminates the need to visit multiple promotional platforms that already exist, and we can try to streamline the consumer saving experience onto Litterless. And then a larger ecosystem of partners really provides more data points for the digital marketplace that's going to help leverage in personalizing the user experience. That's going to make it more engaging for the user. And then as we look to grow, we look at new markets, and that's really going to be done through geographic targeting. So we look at new municipalities and cities across the United States and eventually the globe. That's really going to address we will have to address localized customer support as well as localization and cultural sensitivity to each of these new markets. And then eventually the scalability and infrastructure. We really need to ensure, as previously touched on technology infrastructure, we just need to ensure that the platform can handle increased traffic, transactions, and user interactions. That's going to really deliver a seamless and reliable experience to users across different regions. So when sustaining and eventually growing, we have a dream team of how to get there. We start with our C-suite. Our CEO is really going to have the vision, leadership, and strategy that's going to help the company stabilize, reach profitability, and eventual scale. They're going to lead the internal and external obstacles that's really going to help to align for success. Our chief technology officer is going to lead the direction of technological development. That's going to be the user, both the front end and back end of the technology. Our chief marketing officer is really going to lead growth and partnerships, focusing on the new municipalities, the relationships with ecosystem partners, and then the actual structure of value exchanges with our marketplace partners. And then our chief data officer is really going to collect, analyze, and interpret the data that we're gathering along the way so that we can help inform our partners on the value generated on our platform. Next is our operations manager that's just going to handle the day-to-day operations to ensure that the organization's optimized. And then we're going to have a customer support and success specialist that's really going to lead our community engagement as we're building these communities. Next is a finance and accounting specialist that's really responsible for financial planning and budgeting of the organization. And then a product manager that's going to bridge the technical and business functions to give the user the best product possible. And then we'll need a user experience and user interface designer that's going to help create this user-centered design to increase accessibility and aesthetics. And then eventually, and then we also need software developers that can handle both the front end, back end, and full stack requirements of the technology. As it stands right now, both Atarv and I are the co-founders. I am an experienced nonprofit founder of Net Impact UC. Net Impact is a sustainable education and business organization. I have degrees in finance, real estate, and urban agriculture, which can really be leveraged to understand the value created in the built environment through this technology. Atarv is a computer science student with experience in software development, user experience, venture capital, and research. He's currently working as a senior venture analyst at UC, where he can leverage his expertise in connecting technology to partners through collaborative education and program development. And then when we look at the advisors for Litterless, for legal and compliance, we look towards the Cincinnati ecosystem. As two founders that are heavily involved in the ecosystem, we have lots of resources and a large network to reach out to. And then also the UC College of Law offers free startup student resources. When we look at kind of startup advisor and go-to-market advisor, Kate Harmon is actually both of our boss. We directly report to her, and she is part of the UC Office of Innovation and Center for Entrepreneurship, and she's been advising us thus far. And then when we look at waste management, because we are a waste management platform, I currently work with Hamilton County, City of Cincinnati, and City of Covington and their waste departments, and we've been engaging with them throughout this process. And then when we look towards public policy advisors, we look towards the City of Cincinnati. With deep connections to City Council, we see opportunities to leverage those relationships to get Cincinnati as our pilot program.
So for a deliverable, what it takes to deliver this: budgeting for development, marketing, partnership management, and operational costs, or outline roles, responsibilities, and expertise needed for each position, specifications for the technology stack necessary for building and hosting the mobile application and its backend, the technological and framework. Development of cross-platform mobile app that supports iOS and Android systems for maximum accessibility with the help from Bakery Labs. Leverage literati for data management and analysis of waste management data. Intuitive and engaging UI design that encourages user participation and retention. APIs for easy integration with partners' existing systems. For the development strategy, as mentioned before, we plan on starting a pilot program in Cincinnati, then expand to different cities. For marketing, use digital marketing, social media, and events to create buzz and signups. Then provide updates, challenges, and rewards to engage users and attract newcomers. Conduct workshops to show app benefits and ensure partner and user commitment. And lastly, for audience engagement, show apps ease and features in real time, involve leaders and influencers for user adoption, open channels for feedback to improve our application. And as a closing call, for the pilot partners, Litterless needs a robust ecosystem of partners to succeed. What are we looking for? Local governments and environmental agencies to provide logistical support and regulatory guidance. Corporate sponsors interested in CSR opportunities that align with environmental sustainability, focus on CPGs and fast food companies, businesses interested in promoting/offering discounts on tokenized marketplace platform. Technology development. Litterless requires software to analyze photos/videos in real time. As you saw before, our photo missions. What we're looking for: software developers with expertise in AI and machine learning, tech companies that specialize in image and video processing technologies. Development. Funding to support management of a pilot program, and since we're starting out in Cincinnati, what we're looking for: investors who are passionate about technology-driven environmental solutions, grants and fundings from agencies, foundations, or programs to support our initiative.
With that being said, please help Litterless clean communities. You can do this by sharing ideas with us, partnering with us, or investing in our sustainable solution. Together, we can litter less. Thank you. My name is Ben, and I'm joined with Atarv. You can see our phone numbers and emails there to connect with us. And additionally, here is some. Oh, that's the only slide.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
The sources.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're excited.
All right, congratulations
Hi.
to Team Literalists.
Hi, everybody.
And now we will start closing out the ceremony. So thank you all for being part of the inaugural PeaceRise Innovation Challenge. It was so hard to come to this final top 7. There was amazing submissions. We want to congratulate everybody, all 26 submissions. And special congratulations to the top 7. We look forward to staying engaged with you. Don't forget to join the platform. We are looking at ways to engage with existing businesses through partnerships, which we will be announcing in the coming weeks and months. And we are excited about your continued participation and collaboration, which are essential to our mission of fostering peace through innovation. So together, let's rise for peace and stay tuned for updates and opportunities. Thank you and congratulations to all our participants. Let us continue to work together toward a brighter, more peaceful future. Thank you all.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend.